With that being said, let's talk about these two teams, Rookkill.
All right.
Story
History,
time.
where they're going to be, where are they going, where have they been?
What does it mean?
No, not what does it mean.
Well, what does it mean is where they're going to place. That's what it means.
Let's be more
when they
specific.
win, when they lose.
Fair enough.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about the Cunninghams first. Last week, the Cunninghams were so close to taking out Fnatic, but they lost in the tiebreaker. It's tough. They were able to punish Fnatic's mistakes, but they couldn't defend against their pushes. That was the biggest thing that I wanted everyone to really take out of that series, is that A. Martin said in a face-off previously, they go for the 1 win and then the 4 draws. It's one of the tactics they want to use. They had 2 wins. They could have gone for the draws for Fnatic. They tried. Fnatic was able to break them on Ensk and then continued on. They may be Cunninghams, but a pig is no turtle. However, the Cunninghams are an exceptional team. If they win, they stay at 3rd place. If they lose, they fall to 4th place, all depending upon the end of the night tonight with the standings. Gong Fu, their opponents, a team with no wins yet, the only team remaining with no wins in the season. A loss against River of Blood last week, but they took a battle off of Himmelsdorf. If they win, if Gong Fu wins, it'll be their first win, and they rise to a 7th place tie. If they lose, they are 1 game away from knockout. The bottom 2 teams in the division are knocked out of the Gold League and have to fight their way either through the Silver League or through the Open qualifiers. Tough place to be for Gong Fu tonight. And I'm waiting for the 2 team representatives to join us on Skype in just a little bit to get their thoughts before we start. Rookkill, your thoughts overall looking at the standings? Can we make any accurate predictions of where we're going to end tonight so far?
With Brunel Empires right now having won, they're going to secure their spot.
Stay at 2nd.
Yeah, they stay right up there. Following that, Fnatic's securing their spot even more. Cunningham's Kung Fu. Cunninghams get a chance to break ahead a little bit, away from Hammer Time and from River of Blood. Gong Fu has a chance to either deny that or perhaps crawl above Googly Bobbers. And then even further tie with Refuse to Die if Refuse to Die continues to have trouble.
Gong Fu could execute one of the greatest matches of all time for them against the Cunninghams.
They've got some new players.
They do. Well, let's talk about that a little bit when we talk about these. We talk to these 2 gentlemen here, the 2 team representatives from these teams. Good evening, gentlemen. All right, let's talk to Cunninghams first.
Oh, okay.
Last
the first
series,
time you come to me first.
Yeah, put a bookmark in it. Last series, you were up 2-0 versus Fnatic. Then what happened, A. Martin? What went wrong?
We decided to kind of just aimlessly play strats that we've done before instead of adjusting to the situation and getting into a little stronger defensive situations, especially on Ensk. We hadn't really practiced a south camp before, so we didn't want to do it, but we knew going east that we would probably get wrecked because Fnatic's very good going east. And we've scrimmed that against them 1,000,000 times, and they beat us 9 times out of 10. So stuff like that, where we kind of did stuff where we probably should have expected to lose. And then on Cliff, rookie mistake. We hadn't played Cliff in a while. When I was doing map picking, I was actually going, please don't pick Cliff, please don't pick Cliff. And he picked it, the last one, and we just didn't react properly to, which should have been a pretty easy reaction. We just need to go forward instead of backwards when they do that, and we're fine.
Speaking of map picking, what is your guys' approach to the map picking process?
Certain maps I want to be the one picking, and certain maps I want to be the one reacting to. So usually my first map pick, I will pick a map I want to pick. I don't care what side I'm on. And then my second map pick, I will usually defer it so I get the extra side choice.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's check in. Let's check in with Gong Fu. Thank you, A. Martin. All right, 2 more matches to fight from the bottom, Gong Fu. Tough place to be, Daniel. Can you do it? Can you make it? Can you fight your way out of the bottom?
We're definitely going to put a better performance than last week. And because this is the first time in several weeks we can play a full team, when that's going to make a slight difference, I guess. Because if you look at it last week when we were playing against the River Blood, Well, my guys did pretty well. I mean, we lost a 3-1, but we won one in Himmelslav, and that one was Ruinberg. We took out all the tier 8 tanks, didn't have the time to hunt the T1, and that for a draw, and that's done with 6 tanks. One T1 down really limits our choice of attacking. We have to play conservative. I believe today we might be able to try some more aggressive strategies. So it may have a difference. I mean, it's tough, definitely tough, but we'll give our best shot and see what happens.
How's the team feeling right now with new players coming in?
The 3 new the friends, they are members of the same clan tribe, and we've been playing Platoon together all the time, so we know each other very well, and they've been training with us ever since the beginning. So it should make a smooth transition to filling all the gaps the guys left. So yeah, they're good.
That transition, I'm sure, is a good fit for those 3 individuals that you've picked, Daniel W. Tang. Do you have any words for your opponents before we start?
Oh yeah, just wish them luck and may the best side wins. That's all. Thanks.
Hey,
All
Martin.
right, we will. We will. I promise.
That's it?
That's it. All right. Best of luck, gentlemen. We'll see you on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I think K. Martin was doing laundry, perhaps, the amount of shirts he had.
I think he was cold, as he is Canadian.
Maybe they'd be used to the temperature. I didn't know they use shirts as blankets.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a thing. We'll have to ask Canada.
I mean,
he is a professional Canadian.
He is. He's a very good Canadian.
A. Martin is always a character on his face-off. That's why we bring it up. He's usually reading a book or playing cards or doing something.
Solving Rubik's Cube.
Solving Rubik's Cube.
He's fast at that, man. It's pretty good. He's got a good
My
time.
sister could do it. I couldn't see the patterns.
I can do it slowly. I never got into the practice of doing it quickly. In high school, the Dodd, because I went to high school with him, he would do them quickly and all. And I would just sit there and be like, I'm just going to take my time.
It's impressive.
You know?
It's impressive.
It's not really that hard. It's just no.
Let's take a look at the rosters for these 2 teams. Some of the individual players looking out for tonight. Cunninghams. Can't count out Commander J. I want everyone to see why Commander J was voted the MVP of last season.
Yeah, and then, of course, we've got new members for Gong Fu. We're going to be having SMS. We're going to have Kudox and Eric joining the team. We'll see how they're able to affect things and maybe bring about some new change. Word is apparently they're making a smooth transition.
Yeah, it's good to hear. And like Daniel W. Tank said, this was the best fit for these 3 gentlemen that's joining them because they had interacted with the team in the past. And what better way to bring on 3 new players that you've already played with, you've scrimmaged with. It's kind of like the B team for your organization because it makes the transition that much smoother with that experience. But those are for the individuals. This is a team game, Rule Kill. So what are rules for victory for these teams?
First rule today is going to be the pig. In an eggs and bacon breakfast, the chicken gives something, but the pig gives everything. One cannot question the pig's dedication to breakfast. So my advice is be the pig. Gong Fu. Second is going to be a new roster. Because we have roster updates for Gong Fu, I'm going to be expecting that they're bringing in new blood, new motivation, new skill, and that should probably turn them around and make them a little bit better than they have in the past. You're going to need to lean on those players to hopefully perform much better than they have been, because right now I don't think Gong Fu is in exactly the most motivated place. These new players could probably take them to a better, level. And then finally, wait for the split. Cunninghams are predictable. They will split. Commander J will be on one of the flanks, and then after that, you just find the overmatch and you go for it. Just go for the wedding vegetables.
Go for the wedding vegetables. Go for the special. Prohorovka, our map of the week, will be the first map that these 2 teams will play on. And as it's loading up, we'll look at the teams, the tanks in just a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing I want to say about Gong Fu, these guys have heart. They've had a lot of obstacles during this season. They're still fighting. They're still trying. And they're fighting to survive in the Gold League. And so I know a number of you are rallying behind them, and they're worthy of the audience that they have. Here we go. battle number 1 and match number 4 for these two teams, Cunninghams and Gong Fu. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, we have a T-32, T-69, and 3 AMX 1390s, along with 2 T1 Cunninghams for the Cunninghams. On the other side, Gong Fu will have a T-32, Object 416, 3 1390s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams. They will be spawning in the south.
Terry loves Bird, top performer of Gong Fu in the 1390. I get excited to see him play.
He does wreck face. And looks like both teams will actually be going east side.
What is this? Gong Fu likes this play. They were up against Fnatic previously, and Cunninghams is going for it. No previous scouting. No previous scouting. This is a coin flip.
And now the spotting has happened. SMS, Eric are lit. In reply, Baguk, Silent Demise, and Commander J.
This is a
and Eric's just going.
Chance.
Eric is not stopping. He is all the way right up against meters away from enemy tanks. And Silent Demise, Countess might be able to get some flank fire.
Eric dodges another shot. It was so close.
How is he getting out of there?
Terry Loves Bird takes down Trireme in one hit. Eric going through all the thatched roof cottages.
Might as well call him Trogdor.
That's right. 458 damage being done. The Dragon with consonant V's still in favor of Cunninghams with the amount of damage they were able to do.
Very much. And now Cunninghams has Countess a little bit out of position, maybe.
Terry getting rocked from both sides from T1 Fire. Turns and takes down A. Martin. Says enough with that noise.
And now Trireme and A. Martin are both down, actually, for Cunninghams. They have their T1 still alive. That could actually spell for some cap pressure from Gong Fu.
Terry Loves Bird needs help. He's getting shot from both sides. Misses a shot against Silent Demise, and he tier 8 down for Gong Fu. Cunninghams are going to readjust to the tanks, possibly going up to the hill, but Yatagami says not today, not now, in his Object 416.
All right, and now Countess, almost reloaded, may have shots onto tanks and Gong Fu. The positional advantage right now for the Cunninghams is such that I don't know if Gong Fu's going to be able to ring it back. Yatagami does not have the DPM or the hit points to deal with 2 1390s. Just not possible. So he should go down once he's spotted, and he fires into Silent, backs off the hill. That's one way to do it. He's only going to take a little bit of damage in return, and there it is. Nice crossfire from other members of Gong Fu. And with that crossfire should prompt the Cunninghams to make their own reply, perhaps a counter push, in an attempt to take advantage of the turrets turned the wrong way. But it does not look like they're going to do that immediately. Slight delay in that command. And now they go. Commander J just going in, not going to stop. Baguk gonna roll on up the east side.
Eric hit again from up top. Countess lines another shot, gets it. 2 tier 8s down for Gong Fu.
And now it looks like control's going to slowly go into the favor of the Cunninghams. Silent Demise moving out. Commander J at full health is just going to go on in. Takes a hit for it, but I think he's going to be just fine as Comps is there to help him out. May not even get to help him out.
Super low. And T69 Comps takes it.
Steals the kill even. Commander J had that.
Oh, Comps falls though. SMS turns fire, but Cunninghams are picking apart Gong Fu.
Slowly. They'll be able to get it very soon. Soon as SMS comes in, enough fire should go on to him. But looks like Guk has enough hit points and plenty of DPM, should be able to stop SMS.
And there goes SMS. Page it down as well. 2 tanks remain for Gong Fu. Yatagami and Daniel W. Tang, the commander of Gong Fu. He's dead.
Yeah.
Hyping him up a little bit here. He goes down.
He's in a T1. He doesn't really have much hope when he gets caught out on the cap.
No.
Although Countess is going to show us how to climb a hill. Smooth moves, Countess. And Yatagami, still a little bit dangerous in his...
Doing the best thing he can in the Object 416.
And he's
protect his flag cap. Will we see for Silent? Yes, Demise may pop up here.
Countess as well as lit.
And he sees him. Demise waits for the first shot. Yatagami fires, takes down Countess.
Nice shot. Good choice of a target.
Ooh, dodges a shot from Commander J, but Silent Demise! Big shot into the side.
Bounce.
And a bounce! Yatagami holding the line here. 3 shots left for Commander J. That one connects, but so does Yatagami. That was the clear and present danger. He took the shot. Silent Demise can get it. If Yadogami's looking the other way,
But
Commander
Baguk
J
is coming up and over.
adjusting. Oh, there's Baguk.
Yep. What are you going to do?
He's going to fire. He does. Can he bounce? Nope. The shot from up top, straight landed blow on the flat surface of the tank to the front. Or on top, I should say.
Not going to bounce that.
No.
Good play from the Cunninghams. No surprise there when they played it right, getting a 1390 into the correct position on the 0 line, following up with yet another one. The crossfire from the Cunninghams was stronger than that of Kung Fu. And while Kung Fu did bring an interesting lineup, they were not able to execute because of tank positioning. And Object 416 on the hill was not capable of really getting any kind of fire that was onto the weaker positions of the Cunninghams. They needed to target the 1390s on the backside of the hill. They could not because they did not have tanks in the right positions. But there was some surprising plays. That 1390, Eric, right at the beginning, getting out into the open and then getting away by taking, I don't know, like 2 shells. That was it. Somehow the Cunninghams were not able to hit him.
Eric had jukes. He was the Duke of Jukes.
It was crazy.
It was cool to see that at the beginning, but they couldn't return that fire because Gong Fu was not set up yet to have it. He just kept active scouting going, okay, guys, fire back anytime.
Yeah, and actually, he only fired once.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
He got taken out fast.
His whole job in that battle was actually to deliver 1 shell and then leave. He's like the UPS man of shells.
On time, and then he left.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
Right on.
even early.
Himmelsdorf will be map number 2 for these 2 teams. Still waiting
Oh,
for the countdown to complete as they're selecting their tanks. They have 60 seconds to do so. To the south will be Gong Fu. To the north, their opponents, Cunninghams, as they're up 1-0. I have a feeling that Cunninghams will not play the draw game because the nature of their opponent, the experience of their opponent not being at the same level. But hubris, overconfidence have destroyed many a team.
Yes. We could see that. I'm not sure. I think the Cunninghams are generally consistent enough to the point where when they find the advantage, they'll exploit it. If they feel threatened by their opponent, they'll decide to play slower and more conservatively. And until they feel threatened by Kung Fu, I don't think we're going to see a big change in their approach.
Battle number 2 between Gong Fu and Cunninghams, the third match of the night tonight. Gong Fu still at the bottom of their division with 0 wins. What do we have for tanks?
We've got 3 AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams for the Cunninghams. For Gong Fu, we have 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams.
And here they move out, as you see to the north. Cunningham's in the red. To the south is Gong Fu in the blue. Terry loves Bird. He's in front of you. Danny W. Tang in front of him with Kudo.
And now
he's just chopping down trees for the reload.
I mean, those are city trees. What are you doing? They're planted neat in a row. The city paid a lot of money.
Shot fired. Yadogami's hit. Fires back.
Silent Demise is hit as well.
420 versus 395, I believe, was that shot against Yodogami.
Yep. And now it looks like a little bit of health going in favor of Yadogami. Silent Demise getting the poor half of that roll. Is going to be sitting at 1080. But the spread from Gong Fu is pretty good. Solid defensive strat. Anything right down the middle would be absolutely fatal for the Cunninghams, but they will be going to the hill. Kudox being the first one up there in a tier 8. Behind him, German Commander J.
Yadogami in the IS-3. Banking around left to right. Still looking for... Oh, looking towards Danny W. Tang. See if he will...
Let's see if anybody...
Spark.
Lit. Looks like Eric is lit. Countess may be able to line up a shot.
Commander J crosses the void. Will he chase down Kudo?
There's the possibility of a shot, but I think Eric has his own that can go.
Fires and gets it. Commander J and the rest of his teammates up on the hill now have the high ground, and Gong Fu, taking this information, will move up the 7-8 line. Up Tank Alley, they'll spot Silent Demise. They'll go for the isolation principle against his tank. No, they're actually going to spot A. Martin first. Silent Demise has pulled back. A. Martin doing really no damage against the 5100. And
Finally goes down.
SMS takes him.
And now the reply, it looks like Comps, Germ, and Countess will be going.
Terry Loves Bird pushes up towards the flag cap. Puts himself on the flag cap to initiate. And we wait as Gong Fu moves the rest of their tanks to cover the flag capture as Cunninghams postures himself to stop. But now they've started the engagement and Countess is low.
Yes, they've taken quite a bit of damage. However, they've dished out just a little bit more. Comps. Oh, Terry moving out into the open. Not a smart move. He's going to be messed up. But, oh, wow. The reply.
The double shots from the IS-3s are able to get that kill, but Terry Loves Bird took significant damage and he falls next. Perhaps an IS-3 moving in front would have been a better shot for them to stay alive longer in this engagement.
Now
Yotogami.
Eric. Oh.
Big bounce against Yotogami.
Yeah, you can just see that one just right up into the air. Eric should go down very soon. Commander J not getting too aggressive, and Silent Demise is loaded, but he's going to go down. And now we've got 2 tier 8s left for the Cunninghams. Kung Fu actually handling this brawl far superior to their opponent.
Comps takes down Daniel W. Tang. Commander J now on the reload as Yotogami pushes up.
And Commander J is tracked. Nice shot from Yotogami. Eric be able to put one more into him.
Corner game's going in favor of Gong Fu. Comps takes down SMS though, tying it up for tier 8s. Still one T1 available from Cunninghams, correct? Trireme.
Yes, he is alive. And actually, this could be the comeback. Nope. There's only 1 tier 8 left. Can Comps clutch this? That is the big question right now.
Well, there's one shot from Eric that missed, and Comps will be reloaded before he is.
Huge. That is a massive shot to miss.
And so's that!
What? Comps!
That big bounce! And another bounce coming from Eric. And a shot from behind in the tracks. Comps
What is going
lives.
on right now?
And he fires. He waits. Then he fires and gets the kill. Yotogami from behind.
He can't afford to bounce. He can't afford to miss anything. Nice. That is what needs to happen. A track pen. Comps will have the next shell, and unless he managed to ammo rack him or something, he has a minute and 25 to clean this up and get back to cap.
One traded fire.
Oh, and that roll not high enough for him. He's got 100 hit points left. Yotogami needs to just start getting a little distance.
He needs to hold. He needs to hold as long as he can. Fire again, Comps. He does. Not a bounce. Yotogami has 1 minute and 7 seconds to get to the south. Can he get there in time?
That's the real question, isn't it?
Maybe try to go for a track shot. Was that last shot coming out of Comp? Oh, it wasn't Comps. That was.
This is the situation in which I'd load HE. This is it. When you can't miss, even if you miss, all you need to do is splash.
Would you be consistent firing HE right now?
It's a T1. You got to make the hit.
Consistent fiery HE.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're going for with that. Would you fire HE all time, all day, every day? Of course.
No, of course
That's
not.
all I do. That's all I shoot, Clutch.
27
HE
seconds.
always does damage. 22 seconds. He fires once, blind fire, just to, I don't know, maybe he didn't see the T1. And Trireme, 14 seconds left. The T8, not quite getting there yet. He might not. 8 seconds.
7 seconds. 5, 4,
Can see him
3, 2,
knocking everything down.
1. Base has been captured.
But he
Base
gets
has
the
been
kill.
captured. Base has been captured, but he gets the kill. And so therefore, Gong Fu win the battle. Gong Fu wins because they destroyed the tank.
They did.
Yes.
And there it is.
And there's the victory.
Report.
Gong Fu wins it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The last possible second, when the battle is still live and there's a cap, you get the final kill. I don't think have we even run into that situation before?
One time.
We've won it. When was that? Was that a Ruinberg battle?
Season 3.
Yeah?
Pro Horovka battle.
Okay.
It's a Pro Horovka battle.
Wow. That's such a rare occurrence to actually see that happen. And the final shot, here it is again. Lines it up, and he makes the connection. Perfect.
There's a very, very small window, less than 7 seconds, I think, for a singular capture to get that kill, and he got it.
Yeah. There has to be, every time there's a death, the battle clock lengthens, but it doesn't matter if you get the last kill, you just get the win right then and there. It doesn't matter if you got the cap. If you all die, the other superior objective is achieved, which is killing all enemy tanks, annihilating the enemy. They did it. Gong Fu has taken a bat of one of the great teams in the WGLNA, the Cunninghams. That's got to be very sobering for A. Martin right now.
Yadogami, he was doing all right in the Object 416 on Prohorovka. Now in the IS-3, 3,005 damage.
That is nice. Oh, man, I wish I had him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
That's sick points right there.
That's really, really good. Really good.
Carry so hard.
Damage block by armor 690. So a couple bounces up against him.
Not bad. I think that was mainly what I saw from the Cunninghams that was bothering me. Bounces here and there that otherwise would have probably thrown everything into the victory for Cunninghams because of the bounces. Just a few hundred more damage, and you would have seen some tanks die sooner. They would have been able to deal more damage. You would have seen the Cunninghams getting more momentum in that fight, but because there were a lot of bounces, I think that was really what threw it off. It's not about as much with their positioning. Everyone was doing just fine, moving around each other. Actually, mistakes on Kung Fu's side. But because Cunningham's bounced so many shells, missing out on that one key factor, Kung Fu was able to come back.
They were, and now they've tied up the series. This brings us to battle number 3, taking place on Ensk. Real kill. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, I'm looking at 3 AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams for the Cunningham. Kung Fu will be bringing 2 5100s and 3 IS-3s along with their 2 T1 Cunninghams.
Let's go.
And to the north, you see the Cunninghams in the red, and to the south is Gong Fu in the blue. And Gong Fu moving quickly up the city side on the west. Kudo in the front. They're going to keep going.
Hey, Martin, a little bit of an active scout run, we could say. And Peja doing a little bit of a passive position in his T1 to actually detect that T1 without getting spotted himself. Silent Demise taking a hit, is just able to hit Yatagami, gets the better side of RNG this time, and will be left at 1150, whereas Yatagami is left at 1074. And that's going to slow the push from Kung Fu. They've been detected. Cunninghams is able to flex to defend that position. Comps getting ready. Countess moving on up for a flank. Conflict sitting in the back, getting ready to defend Silent Demise, along with Commander Jie. Silent Demise bounces a shell right off his front and is going to be posturing up against Kurox and perhaps Yatagami.
Yatagami will push up.
Here's the push. Yatagami gonna look for the flank, finds comps, and they're gonna begin trading through a window. And he's just gonna continue on, which actually might prompt a counterflank from Countess. But that's the west side. West side 5100 push right now.
Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, there it goes.
I see it. And they're pushing up on the one line.
Yeah.
There's Terry Loves Bird.
Terry leads the way. Commander J moving in for the flank. He might actually be out of position for this. Silent Demise does not have enough support. And there might be a little bit, but I think he might go down very quickly. Conflict could save him. But we're gearing up for an interesting flank-on-flank position.
Beautiful shot from Terry. Can't get another one of that 328 damage, but SMS, the 5100s, trying to deny Silent Demise.
One more shot from Terry.
Staying in the battle. They get it. It's the first tier 8 down, but they lost Yatagami.
Yep. Yatagami is dead, the top performer last time. And now SMS and Terry are very low. Conflict has one more shell. Could finish off Terry. One of the...
Oh!
A low roll. And actually, that was still a high roll,
That's
just
still
not
a
enough
high roll.
damage.
Still enough. Terry, you're low, buddy. 23 HP. SMS falls next. This is tough for Gong Fu, though, because Cunninghams have one of their T1s in the south on the flag cap. But who's that returning to the south? Looks like Eric 6129. Newer player here. Trying to stop it. Trireme ready for the flank, for the screen.
And now Countess moves on Terry. Gets the kill. Nice job there. One T8 left. That's Kudox against Comps. Not going to be able to stand up against this.
Comes Trireme powering through the house.
Oh.
From behind, but Commander J sticks it to him to the front.
All right, that's the other side of the map in the south near the cap. In the north now, Kudox trying to take on Countess, but is finished off by Conflict.
Wow, that was quite a firefight. From what I saw at the beginning, the 5100s took a little bit too much traded damage, and that's when it started to fall apart. It took a long time for them to kill Silent Demise because he hid behind that cubbyhole, and they missed a couple shots. When those missed shots start to add up for the 5100s and the IS-3s start coming at you when you're out of shells, game over.
Yeah. It was also a matter of two 5100s trying to go for a west side flank from Gong Fu, and while they remained undetected and were able to get a good flank off, there was simultaneously the Cunninghams attempting a similar move in kind of a mirror fashion. Theirs was to the southeast. Following that, you had perhaps better handling of the situation. Conflict being in the backfield, doing a very good job at covering his ally, and then managing to get just enough damage out there, and having an IS-3 that was Silent Demise hold off just long enough. It was good play from the Cunninghams, just tiny bit better at keeping some of their tanks alive, I think is it.
Better handling the situation is the best way to put it. It's the best way to put it. And that comes down to experience. It's the biggest difference right now between the Cunninghams and Gong Fu is experience. For most teams that are joining us for the first time in the Gold League, Fun Gaming, Victoria's Secret, C'est La Vie, RBIS, and Gong Fu. And the performance of RBIS, second place in the Alpha Division. That's quite a story.
Yes.
And that story will continue to develop as we see them next week, next Thursday for the Alpha Division, their final day in group play. And also a great story for the Bravo Division was Bernal Empires. And they're in second place. So second place teams, even though Simp and Fnatic are at the top spot, which has been the same since Season 1, it's quite intriguing to see where we are today. If you would have told me that Bernal Empires and RBIS would have been second place in Week 6, I would have found it very, very hard to believe you. Very difficult with that assessment.
Because the expectation of all the veterans.
Yeah, I mean, Simple Tankers, #RU, Googly Bobbers, sure. These teams, they've been full of surprises. Battle number 4 will take place on Ruinberg. The Cunninghams are one battle away from taking this series. What do we have for tanks?
We have two AMX 5100s, two IS-3s, and a 1390, along with two T1 Cunninghams for the Cunninghams. They're going to be putting Countess in that 1390. Then for the side of Gong Fu, we've got two 5100s, three IS-3s, and two T1 Cunninghams. So we're bringing back a bit of I'll say an old meta for the Cunninghams. This is the 1390 strat that we're used to seeing on a lot of semi-city maps like Ensk and also Ruinberg, which happened a few seasons ago and was quite popular, but then we moved away from that for a while, teams opting for heavier, beefier lineups. The North can bring that 1390, very flexible, but when it comes down to the brawl, Gong Fu's going to have an advantage, especially if they can get that ideal brawl. They just need to go for the fight.
Daniel, following Kudo, Terry Loves Bird, Yodogami, SMS, and Peja as they move from the southwest to the western fountain. And last night we saw a team in this position decide to go for it and for the win.
Does that count as going for it right there with Daniel W. Tang?
Well, not necessarily.
I mean, he's just going for it.
Because of knowing where your opponent is.
I think that's going for it. I mean, he just drove across.
All right, if they cross the Delta line, they're going for it.
Okay. I mean, look at the way he's driving on the road. He's not hanging to the right. Usually you hang to the right, you have a better angle of approach, you're a little safer, but when you hang to the left of that road, you're in the open, and there's no actual way to drive to quickly escape. So I feel like Daniel W. Tang is just going. Doesn't even care.
Terry Loves Bird fires a shot towards Comps, does not connect.
He's in a really nice position. Able to reverse angle. He's probably going to bounce almost every shell coming towards him. He's got enough distance to the point where he can fire back at some of those tanks pretty easily.
Terry Loves Bird. Waiting for another open shot. Fires potential blind fire, yes, towards the defensive area of the northern section. We've seen something similar to this in the past with Victoria's Secret. If Gong Fu fires a number of shots in the north and then falls all the way back down to the south, moves to the east, and then moves up the 0 line to catch their opponents off guard, they will be emulating that team strategy that we saw earlier on.
Well, it looks like they won't
It's
be able
fun
to
gaming.
get that blind fire we were hoping they would be able to get. If Kung Fu had been able to get Bagaku, smartly by the way, was actually hiding to avoid being taken out by blind fire, which he can definitely hear the impacts.
Oh, you can hear it. SMS firing away.
Nothing's going to get through those buildings to hit him. Lucky for him, though.
SMS falls back.
All right, so Cunninghams will be moving to the south a bit as well. A. Martin towards the cap, ready to make that counter cap pressure that's necessary when they begin their cap rush in the north. If A. Martin doesn't do that, then there is the possibility that Kung Fu, even with the long delay on cap, is able to win it out. Just, it's sometimes you're in a hard situation like that. A. Martin does look like he wants to move up. He's going to do it ever so slowly and surely, just hopping from bush to bush until maybe they find Eric. In the meantime, Countess in the 1390 will be covering his position to keep that 1390 safe and also to use his superior vision to their advantage. He will probably be able to get some alternate angles of view, maybe a little blind fire here and there, and maybe even get himself spotted deliberately.
Oh, not the case yet. No spotting happening from either team. Well, Page is going to be hanging back to the south in the T1. Little cubby hole here. Eric, 6'1", 2'9", new player to Gong Fu in the bush. Scouting for any potential play from the Cunninghams up against their flag cap. Not the case yet. 6 minutes.
A. Martin's going to get a
On the
little luck
clock.
here. Yatagami is lit. And that could be a nice indication, or maybe even allow Countess to get a little free damage in for Gong Fu. In the meantime, Silent Demise, doing much the same, is actually taking 287 damage. Terry able to put a little bit onto him. Silent's going to have to put his head down for a bit. And now I think Terry's even putting out blind fire. And that's the reload. Terry will go on his long reload. Daniel W. Tang also seems to be blind firing somewhere. And we're actually going to see a move comps slightly forward. Trireme moving to the north, and Commander J also in the north. So there could be a Cunningham's north flank push, along with perhaps, no, not even a hold. Silent Demise is going to join them as well, and that's going to be Cunningham's coming from the north, and then with A. Martin and Countess in the south, they'll put pressure on the cap. Interesting strategy.
Oh, Cunningham's now surrounding that north side, as you mentioned, but there are 3 tanks to the south. The 3 wise men spotted. And they take down Eric. Page is coming in now to be able to scout what's happening. If he can see one of the tier 8s, that'll be big for Gong Fu to know they can overmatch to the north.
Daniel W. Tang putting himself out in the open. 2 shots going to the dirt.
Take that back as Yatagami is in the south. Takes down A. Martin. No longer any flag cap pressure.
There's a possibility of it again, but was late to the party, and because of that did not die in the open.
Tang takes 2 hits.
Indeed, and now from the very north, we've got Comps actually. No, not Comps, sorry. Commander J able to get some flank fire onto the tanks, putting pressure on his allies. And now Commander J can move up, perhaps do a little bit of cleanup on those tanks. It does look like Comps and Silent Demise are moving forward. Unfortunately for Comps, he gets tracked out in the open, has to burn his kit. And now Silent Demise and Comps will come around, maybe finish off Terry or find SMS. There's a number of possibilities now. As
Sure.
does Countess even coming in on the flank, getting some side shots on tanks.
SMS. Shot for low. Terry hit on the corner. He falls back a bit. Silent Demise reloaded. And he takes down Terry Loves Bird. Nice side shot. Silent falls back before he goes down. Comps pushes in, but SMS does not fall. Comps in danger. He goes down, but Countess returns fire against Daniel W. Tang, holding the other flank. That allows Countess to get
What a hero.
SMS.
He is saving the team right now, but I don't know if he can do it all on his own. Commander J is on reload, so is Trireme.
Yatagami lines up a shot. It tracked, or no, it went into the carcass of a dead tank.
It hit the gun.
Countess still trying to escape here.
Countess is just gonna put himself in a corner. And with that, is anyone coming for him?
Yeah, Yatagami and Kudo, but they're cautiously coming for him.
Yatagami knows he's got this.
Boom. Gets it. 54 seconds left. But in a similar scenario, Yatagami was able to clutch it.
One more shot from Trireme. That's all he needs. Nice track shot. Yatagami fires at the exact moment as he comes around the corner. And because of it, shot's thrown off. Nicely played by Trireme. He's got one more, and he actually gets rammed for quite a bit of damage.
And he falls.
Yatagami, monstrous.
27 seconds, Yatagami with 31 HP.
Commander J is going to set up a nice trap. These guys are going to cross. They have no idea where Commander J is, and he's going to be able to take him down. Boom.
Boom! There's one. Kudo, there's two. That's why I told the audience to watch Commander J, MVP from Season 3. He proves it once again.
Yes.
Battle number 4 in Ruinberg. Impressive play.
That's it.
Whew, I'm sure he can wipe the sweat off his brow after that, because I'd be sweating if it was all down to me in that position. But he set it up beautifully. And luckily there was a flag cap happening, so they had to move in that position.
It was a smart move, very deliberate from the Cunninghams. They recognized we have cap pressure as a possibility. Let's get control of that and have two objectives. From the north, you start an attack, which is, of course, the opposite direction from where the south is for your opponent. So you distract them by pulling their attention one way, and then, of course, taking tanks and putting them on the cap in the south. So they have to go for two objectives, split their attention, and it's already difficult enough for those 5 tanks to deal with the cap and the fight. After that, you've got a 1390 moving in, flanking around, getting free damage here and there. It's just going to mess with your head.
Looking at Commander J's performance overall, with numbers 6 for 8, the 5100, 1,562 damage. The rest of the damage dealers, Trireme 9 for 12 at 2814. Comps 4 for 15, that continual blind fire. Same for Sound Demise, 3 for 7. Possibly no bounces, just a couple misses. And 4 for 5 for Countess.
How would you sum up that match?
Impressive play from Gong Fu.
Mm-hmm.
The brawls went into the favor of Cunninghams in 2 instances because of experience, because of handling it better. But Gong Fu is showing that they can handle the type of aggression or even defenses from the veteran teams. They have to work on the polish. They have to work on isolation. They have to work on calling shots a little bit better, because there was one time I noticed they both fired into a tank when it was only necessary for 1 shot to hit to get the kill.
Well,
but that's a tough call sometimes, because you want to guarantee it compared to what if it's a possible bounce, and then that tank is able to shoot back.
Precisely. I just had a interesting discussion this past weekend about that very concept. For the concept of actually, Fox, we had that conversation about about talking about was it fighters?
Yeah,
planes?
Aerial combat.
Yeah, aerial combat.
The payload.
Yeah, you call the payload in an aerial combat, but in tanks and real tank combat, that doesn't really exist. You actually only say something when you've actually eliminated the target, not when you're going to pick a target. The commander, yes, will give out the target, but there's no report of, I have this kill, because you have enough ammunition in your tank in modern tank warfare that you're not really going to just run out. You don't have to hold on to that ammo, and if you start to run low, you can just return to base. So in tanks, while we can say that you don't want to waste ammo after that kill, sometimes with the way that shells work, you cannot depend on a penetration. And if you do, Murphy's Law states that you're probably going to bounce or you're going to miss.
It's situational, very situational, because of the autoloader time.
Yes.
That's where it really comes down to very small windows and split-second decisions to take that shot or wait for your opponent to get it, so you still have another shot for the enemy a couple seconds later, instead of both being out, both reloading.
Yeah.
It's tough. That's what makes this game so fun and also deep. The depth of it with the type of strategy and the hard numbers and the soft numbers and the performance of individual players. That's why this game is an esport. All right, that does it for the last battle for match number 3. We'll move on to the final match of the night. That will be Hammer Time versus River of Blood after this.